There's one way that Lance Barber can return as George in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. Executive producer Steve Holland shares. Despite being long confirmed in The Big Bang Theory, George's death in young Sheldon was still heartbreaking to watch. Sheldon and the rest of his family were shocked at the sudden loss of their patriarch, which became the driving narrative force in the show's emotional send-off. Somehow, the prequel was able to endear George to the viewers, although Mary and Sheldon painted a less than ideal image of him in The Big Bang Theory. Holland seems to already have an idea of how to pull off his return despite the character's tragic fate in young Sheldon in a new interview with TV Line. There is still interest among viewers in the possibility of seeing the Cooper patriarch again in any way in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. Luckily, the producer floats the idea of Barber coming back to reprise his role as George in a dream. Read his full quote below. The young Sheldon finale was clouded with grief over George's death. However, since the show had limited time to spare after his fatal heart attack, Chuck Lorre and his team have attempted to remedy this by continuing that storyline in smaller doses in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. The first 2 episodes of the show featured Mary, Mima, and Missy, and then all 3 of them return in Thanksgiving. George has been incorporated into the spin-off storytelling via the family visiting his grave. But Barber's best bet in coming back is through Holland's suggestion, which is via a dream sequence. This way, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage story doesn't cheapen the character's rather brilliant send-off in young Sheldon, while also not limiting the show in the creative ways that they can utilize George. Although a flashback sequence is also another option, it requires more careful planning as it could inadvertently break the established continuity, something that the Big Bang Theory prequel did countless times during its run. A dream sequence with George can be more creative or poignant, depending on how Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's creative team wants to approach it. The idea of seeing George again is great, considering how beloved he was in young Sheldon. Barber was actually on set during the filming of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's Thanksgiving special, which proves that he continues to have a special bond with his former co-stars and co-workers. Because of this, there is no doubt that he would be more than willing to return as George if Holland or Lorre invited him back. That said, his potential return should happen in the far future, once Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is already fully established. At this point, the team's priority should be to ensure the future of the new show, and one way to do that is to develop its new ensemble. This means that more stories must be focused on Mandy and Georgie, as well as the rest of the McAllisters. The Cooper family members can appear, including George, via a dream sequence, but their involvement shouldn't overshadow Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's true story.